Sigma males are a bit of a mystery in the dating world. While many guys bend to their partners every whim, these men keep their independence. They're not trying to be difficult, as some might think. They just have a different way of thinking that sets them apart from the rest. When it comes to women, Sigma men can be quite hard to handle. They have a keen nose for manipulation or control tactics, quickly spotting when something's off. Here are 7 reasons why women struggle to control them. 7. They're not afraid to walk away. Many guys get scared of being alone and stay in bad relationships because of it. They think they have to settle even if they're unhappy. They're worrying about what people will think if they break up or convince themselves things might get better. This is super common, and around 80% of men stick around even when they don't want to just because they're scared of walking away. But that's not how Sigma males operate. These men don't hang on to a relationship if it makes them unhappy. Walking away isn't something they fear. It's something they're ready to do if things aren't working. They care more about their peace and happiness than what others think or the fear of being alone. This makes it nearly impossible for women to control them. They can't use guilt or fear to make a Sigma man stay. If she tries to manipulate him or play mind games, he'll simply leave. He won't stick around just because he feels pressured or guilty. Sigma men are always aware of their boundaries. If someone crosses them, they don't hesitate to step back. This is why they come across as strong and confident. They don't waste time on relationships that don't add value to their lives. They'd rather be alone and happy than with someone and miserable. The strength to walk away makes them not overthink it when someone doesn't treat them right. They won't stay hoping someone will change or get better. The Sigma male believes in actions more than words, so if someone shows they don't value him, he's out the door. Point 6. They don't compete for attention or affection. Men can often be seen trying hard to win a woman's attention and affection. They might compete with other men, showing off or doing things just to be noticed. But that's not how Sigma males act. They don't feel the need to be the center of attention. They know their worth and don't see the point in fighting for someone's attention or love. Sigma males are confident in themselves and don't need a crowd to feel good about who they are. When it comes to relationships, they want genuine connections, not forced interactions. If a woman is not naturally interested in them, they won't go out of their way to try and win her over. This attitude makes it hard for women to manipulate them by playing hard to get. Instead of joining a race for affection, Sigma men stay true to themselves. If someone is giving mixed signals or playing games to make them compete, they simply won't participate. Their self-esteem isn't tied to what others think or how much attention they get. This doesn't mean they are cold or unapproachable, it's quite the opposite. They are warm and engaging, but only with people who deserve their time. Point 5. They don't fall for the silent treatment. This is a common tactic some women use to manipulate men. It involves giving someone the cold shoulder, ignoring them, or not speaking to them as a way to get them to act a certain way or feel bad. Many guys might feel anxious or desperate to fix things when they get the silent treatment, thinking they did something wrong and need to make up for it. They might bend over backward just to get the person talking again. But this doesn't work on Sigma males. When they get the silent treatment, they don't panic or feel bad about themselves. They just use this time to think and reflect. They're comfortable with silence and don't need constant validation from anyone, so they don't rush to fix things just to break the silence. They know that communication is key in any healthy relationship. If she refuses to talk, they see it as her problem, not theirs. Sigma men appreciate clear communication and honesty. They don't like games and mind tricks. The silent treatment is just another form of manipulation, and they don't fall for it. They're strong and confident enough to know that if someone is giving them the silent treatment, it's a reflection of the other person's immaturity or unwillingness to solve the issue in a healthy way. While others might feel guilty or desperate when faced with silence, Sigma men remain calm and collected. They see through the tactic and understand that real communication involves discussing problems, not avoiding them. They won't chase someone who uses such manipulative tactics. If someone tries to control them using silence, they'll be met with indifference. The Sigma male will carry on with his life, not allowing the silent treatment to affect his mood or decisions. Point 4. They won't give up their freedom. Many people think of freedom as getting some time away from their partner or going to the club without them. But for Sigma men, it's not about this type of freedom. It's about deeper stuff like having the freedom to make their own choices, follow their own paths, and live life on their terms. This kind of freedom can't be swapped out or given up, even for love. Sigma men need space to breathe and grow, and they won't accept anyone trying to limit them. This is why control tactics won't work with Sigma males. They're not into clinginess or control and won't let anyone, even a woman they love, hold them back. If she tries to control them, he's out. It's not because he doesn't care, but because his independence is a core part of who he is. He needs to feel free to be himself every day. Freedom to a Sigma means waking up and deciding what his day looks like without anyone ordering what he should do. It's about being able to make choices without anyone trying to influence them. This kind of control isn't about being bossy, it's about having a say in his own life. Of course, this doesn't mean he can't compromise or make sacrifices when necessary, but being controlled is not something he's willing to sacrifice. That's why he doesn't want to dominate or be dominated. He wants a partnership where both people respect each other's freedom. Sigma men are not trying to be rebels, they just can't thrive in a cage. Their freedom isn't a negotiable point. It's a basic need, just like food and water. 3. They avoid dependence on others. Women often try to create a sense of need in their relationships. It's a classic move. She makes him feel like he can't live without her. But that strategy totally flops with Sigma men. These men aren't just independent, they've turned it into a lifestyle. They've built their lives in a way that they don't need to lean on anyone else. Whether it's emotional support, financial stability, or day-to-day tasks, they've got it covered. This isn't about being arrogant or pushing people away. It's about creating a solid foundation for themselves. While many guys base their self-esteem on how much their partner needs them, Sigma men have an internal sense of worth. They don't need anyone else to validate them, nor do they rely on others to fill their gaps. This self-sufficiency extends to all areas of life. Emotionally, they've learned to process their feelings without needing constant validation. Financially, they've set themselves up to be stable on their own terms. Even in social situations, they're comfortable flying solo. This doesn't mean they don't want a partner, but it does mean that women can't use traditional tactics to control them. They don't need someone to save them, so they won't fall for the typical damsel in distress ploy. They just want a woman who can stand on her own 2 feet, just like they do. Sigma males are already complete on their own, making them immune to manipulation through dependence. 2. They have strong self-awareness. Women have an arsenal of tactics for influencing men, subtle hints, gentle persuasion, even outright demands. These usually work like a charm, but when it comes to Sigma males, they hit a brick wall. Why? It all comes down to one key trait: uncheckable self-awareness. Sigma men aren't your average Joe. They've put in the hard work, really digging deep to understand themselves. This isn't just about knowing their favorite color or food. We're talking deep, soul-level understanding. These men have spent serious time alone, wrestling with big questions about who they are and what they want from life, especially in relationships. So when a Sigma man makes a decision, you can bet it's rock solid. It's not about going with the flow or people-pleasing. Every choice lines up perfectly with his core values and long-term goals. This makes him pretty much immune to external pressure. Think of it as a built-in lie detector. Sigma males can smell manipulation a mile away. If a woman tries to subtly shape him into her ideal man, he'll spot it instantly. He can tell the difference between genuine care and attempts at control. Contrary to popular belief, Sigma men aren't being difficult on purpose. They're all about keeping it real. They want genuine connections, not some carefully crafted image of what someone else thinks they should be. This kind of confidence can really throw off women who are used to having more control, but for those who love a guy who knows what he wants, it's irresistible. Sigma males are playing a whole different sport in the dating game. They're not looking to control or be controlled. They want a partner who clicks with their true self. In a world full of fakeness, that's a breath of fresh air. 1. They are independent thinkers. Sigma men don't just accept things at face value. They like to figure things out for themselves rather than taking someone else's word for it. If everyone else is going left and a Sigma thinks right is the better choice, you can bet he's going right. This makes them hard to control because they're not swayed by what others say or do. Sigma men also question everything, even the status quo. If someone tells them to do something, Their first instinct isn't to just do it without thinking. They'll ask why. They'll look at the pros and cons before they make a move. This is very different from guys who just go with the flow to keep peace. Sigmas don't just follow the crowd. This kind of thinking makes it tricky for anyone to influence their decisions, including women. When a Sigma male doesn't agree with someone, it's not because he wants to be difficult. It's because he's done his own research and come to his own conclusions. He doesn't just accept things blindly, which also makes him less susceptible to manipulation. Sigma men aren't impressed by pretty faces or sweet words. They're impressed by intelligence and authenticity. Sure, they can appreciate a beautiful woman, but it won't be enough to make them change their mind or bend to her will. Being an independent thinker also means they have their own unique views and opinions. They're not afraid to stand out or be different, which makes them unpredictable and hard to manage. If you found these insights helpful, feel free to leave a comment. If you're unsure about what to say, simply write "done" to let us know you watched until the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we invite you to subscribe now and become part of our channel. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.